Alright, video number 3. Apologise for having to pause that a second time, and now third video. I wanted to just have a show these spark plugs. 3 out of 4 look fine. We have got a little bit of sign slightly different on this one, but doesn't show up as much in the video. The insulator is a tad grey compared to the others. Not sure if we can see much of a close-up. Bit of build-up compared to the other 3. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. Alright, just going to put this coil pack back in. Looks like we may have a little crack in the boot, so that can cause an issue. The spark can jump out externally. Just looking down the plug hole, I'm not sure if we can even get it on the video, but there's potential sign of a small line just towards the sort of lower part of the screen. I'm wondering if that may even be an arc line. We may end up having to try and get the rubber boots for these, or maybe replace this coil pack. Not sure if it'll show up on the camera. Trying to get enough light in there. Sort of see a bit of a mark. We can get some reflection on that spot. There's a couple of sort of dots or marks, lines, whatever you want to call it. A bit of reflection to deal with. Difficult to say. I might try and seal this rubber tube up and see if we can kind of eliminate that as being a possibility. Alright, so a bit of RTV around that little split section, although it is above the insulator portion of the inside tube. It can still be a potential leak source for the spark to jump out and misfire on one cylinder. We'll pop this in and we'll see what we get. I'll pop this back in. I'll be back in a second. Alright, coil pack's back in, plugged in. Boost sensor plugged back in. I've plugged the evap line back onto the purge valve. Not fully, but enough to seal. I've left the electrical connector disconnected. I want to give it a start. It's likely going to throw a open circuit code or whatnot for that purge valve, but at least it'll give me a chance to be able to give it a start, see how it sounds, disconnect that the hose whilst it's running, see if we've got a vacuum leak, and then I'll put my vacuum gauge on whilst it's running, and then we can see for sure if it's open. I don't want it to activate as such, although the first few minutes of start it probably wouldn't, but if it happens with vibration to close or something like that, it'd be good to try and catch it as quick as possible. So alright, it won't be a second, we'll see what happens. Alright, so I decided, rather than muck around and have to disconnect the evap tube to that purge valve, I'm just going to